Hello, we're at the National Portrait Gallery, which, believe it or not, was the only portrait gallery in the world when it opened in 1856.
What an awful thought. All those artists and no portrait gallery. That's like a nation of portrait painters without a top-quality, massively entertaining, televised art competition.
Unthinkable. Welcome to the final of Portrait Artist of the Year 2020. Across the series, we've seen 72 artists, selected from over 1,000 applicants, compete to paint a portrait in just 4 hours.
So much could go wrong.
I'm like a swan, graceful on top, but underneath my legs are kicking furiously.
They faced a dazzling cast of celebrity sitters. From the worlds of film, music, stage, and television.
How are you?
I'm really well.
Yeah?
Not intimidated at all.
One leg over the side too, Daddy.
That's dangerously sexy.
How are you going to sit still?
I have absolutely no idea.
Okay.
Try namaste it out.
Okay.
It's for my mum, by the way, so make it a good one.
How you finding Fern? Great face.
Yeah, almost too pretty.
Too pretty. You want someone more gnarled?
Yeah,
Can
please.
you do gnarled?
Having made it through the semi-final, only 3 remain. Inga Duplessis,
I'm feeling quite a bit of pressure, but it's very much about just staying true to making good art.
Christel Blackburn,
To win today at this point just means everything. I really want it now. I'm really hungry for it.
and Toby Micahel.
You can't help but think when you're in a position where now it's down to 3, can I win it?
With today's portrait and an extra commission painting to consider,
Trying to get these beautiful legs in.
our expert judges face their toughest decision yet.
It's brilliant to see what they can do after we put them through the ringer, but my problem is that they're all very good.
The artists are competing for a £10,000 prize, the once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to paint music icon Nile Rodgers for the Royal Albert Hall.
But only one can win.
The Sky Arts Portrait Artist of the Year is...
Before today's finalists can get started, they need to get used to their new surroundings.
It's unbelievable to be in the National Portrait Gallery. It's just these paintings of epic scale all around us. Definitely inspiring.
Well, today's a very different day. There are only 3 of them in the room, and that room is full of the burden of history, and they need to show us that they can rise to the challenge.
It definitely feels more intense today. We're surrounded by all these great paintings and I've got to try and not look at them to see what I'm doing wrong.
We've got 3 very exciting artists, all with very distinct styles, but I have a feeling they've been playing it safe, and I know they can do more, so I'm really looking forward to what they pull out of the bag today.
I think to be in the final is something that, you know, you always think this kind of stuff can't happen to me, and it doesn't happen to me. You know, I want to do a good painting. If I'm happy with my painting, that's enough.
This is a really high standard today. I sometimes come into the final with a little special favourite, and actually today I've got 3 favourites. It's a question of which one's got that edge, which one's got something really special that we want to see more of. And it is so hard because any one of them is a very, very fine winner.
But there's one more thing they need before today's challenge can begin.
Inga, Toby, Christel, welcome to the final, and congratulations for having got this far.
Artists, your final sitter is famous for creating masterpieces, but unlike you, he creates them with words, not paint. As if an MBE for his services to literature wasn't enough, he also has not 1, but 4 doctorates. So please welcome Dr. LM Sissay.
From official poet for the London Olympics to best-selling author and university chancellor, Lem's award-winning career as a broadcaster, playwright and writer has made him one of Britain's most loved literary figures.
Hi, Lem. How are we doing?
Good.
Come and sit down here. Now,
Yes.
you're all these many different attributes.
Yes.
But you are a poet, and a very brilliant poet, and I wondered whether you might use the time to be creating poetry.
That's absolutely perfect. I have a commission that I'm working on right now, and the deadline is 3 days' time, so I'm going to use it for, to that purpose.
Wonderful.
Great stuff. Well, we'll get you a pad and some paper then. Right, so we need to get you in a position that's comfortable for you, Lem, and also so that they can see you. Now, are you a fidgeter?
Maybe.
What do we think? Does that suit everybody?
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah?
Well, we better get going. Artists, let's face it, you really should be pretty good at this by now. So we're expecting some mind-blowing portraits.
You have 4 hours to complete your portrait. Good luck to each one of you. Your time starts now.
Look very serious.
You'd relax your mouth, please, Lem.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. Yes. Yes.
As the artists make their first marks, Lem sets off on a creative journey of his own.
OK, so the lines are with the opening of the exhibition and the press night of the play.
What a great sitter. He's got a wonderful face, and it's so animated. You can see he's writing poetry. You can see it in his face. Well, I think he is.
Lem has a beautiful face to paint, and it's a busy face as well. I mean, his eyes are darting around, so I'd love to capture some of that.
Is it Manchester you're from then?
Yeah, I mean, I'm from Lancashire.
Yeah.
But I moved to Manchester when I was 18.
So you were like
85.
around kind of Stone Roses time and...
Oh, yeah, no.
And
Stone
like,
Roses came to my flat.
That's awesome.
Oasis came to my early gigs. It's a good time, very.
Yeah. Lem seems like a right geezer, to be fair. He's so vibrant, but he's got that seriousness about him as well. And you want to try and get both of those aspects to the portrait.
A 22-year-old from Buckingham, Toby Micahel demonstrated his skill for capturing multiple sides of a person's character with his heat portrait of Wumi Musaku.
It's her being tired, it's her being humorous. It's got so many aspects of her in there.
By conveying a sense of the performer on stage, he progressed through the semi-final with his portrait of theatre legend Elaine Page.
He stuck true to what he believed he could deliver, a really good head study.
But today, Toby's decided to give the judges something more.
So it's great to see that you do want to try and incorporate some of the figure.
For sure. You know, it's the final. I need to push myself beyond what I've done previously.
So how are you feeling? Nervous?
Yeah, not too much. I always get the nerves the night before. When I'm in London, I'm cool.
Well, you've got the paintbrushes
yeah,
in
exactly.
your hand.
Especially, yeah.
But come on, you haven't painted in the National Portrait Gallery
Yeah,
before.
no.
This is quite intense.
No, I mean, I just want to get a good start and I'm not being too distracted by the gravity of the occasion. So
Yeah,
I'm all right. Maybe I should be terrified.
No,
of this. I'm
you
not
shouldn't.
Sure.
You shouldn't. It's good to be able to master them. Well done.
Yeah, thank you.
I started off with a sketch just to get a vague sense of the composition, and then I'll kind of reaffirm the drawing by just doing more of a sketch with acrylics. And once I'm happy with that, then I'll start working in oils. I haven't preempted anything surreal at the moment. I would love to include a little bit of the painting behind him, but I think that will happen as I paint rather than beforehand.
Originally from South Africa, professional artist Inga grabbed the attention of the judges with surreal elements in her self-portrait submission.
If you're trying to make a self-portrait that stands out, putting a bird on your head certainly works.
With both her heat portrait of Tiny Temper and her semi-final painting of Elaine Page, Inga succeeded in capturing the mood of her sitter.
Inga's skill, I think, lies in creating a drama in the way she places a head or body in space.
And as an artist interested in body language, today's sitter is giving her plenty to work with.
I like the pose. You've really got a sense of his presence.
I mean, physically, he pushes his jacket up a little bit and he's kind of hunched into the chair a little bit. And I wanted to capture that restful pose, but the busy
busy mind.
face, yes, because there's talking a lot to him.
I knew he wouldn't be able to stop talking. He's a wordsmith. He's all about words.
So I'm quite happy as fidgety because he can bring that energy across in the painting.
A sitter's mannerisms may help reveal their character to an artist.
I'm frightened of what I'm going to see.
You should be.
Yes.
But evidence of Lem's very active mind is causing problems for Christel.
He just doesn't stop moving. Can I have the iPad? Stunning.
You're the studied.
Do you mind if I take a picture?
Pardon?
Can I take a quick photo?
As many as you want.
Thank you. He's moving quite a lot and he likes to chat, so I've had to borrow my mum's iPad, which I hate. But I'm not getting those features in the right place at the moment. And yeah, I gotta say, I'm a bit worried, but we'll see.
Christel Blackburn is a professional artist from London. The judges were drawn to the distinct style of her submission and the way she remained consistent in her heat portrait of Adrian Dunbar.
I think Christel's almost like a minimalist artist. She takes out the background, the context, and it's got a bit of Scandi, cool feel about it.
Presented with an elaborate set in the semi-final, she found a way to meet the brief while staying true to her individual approach.
She reads it as yellow, so she's picking up on this kind of show-stopping light behind her.
But today she has another complex backdrop to interpret.
Behind the sitter, there's a big painting. I'm not going to try and do that. I'll probably keep it quite minimal.
You've done that before, haven't you? Because I remember with Elaine and with Adrian.
Yeah.
So it is the final. Anyone here supporting you?
Yes, I've got my support team. I've got my mother, my mother-in-law, and my husband.
Oh, great. That's quite an interesting, psychologically, group of people.
Yeah. My mother-in-law is a painter, so she's quite invested in this. And my mum is just...
I mean, I'm sure she's absolutely lovely. To me, that sounds like a recipe for absolute disaster. Your mother-in-law
also
in
an
the
artist.
same business that you're in.
Yeah, but we paint very differently.
Oh, OK. So she doesn't come past and say passive-aggressive things like, oh, that's how you see the jacket he's wearing, is it?
That would be really hard to deal with. But my mother, on the other hand, does do stuff like that.
Oh, does she?
Yeah.
Well, that's mothers for you. That's what they're there for. Is she behind us?
Yeah, she's
OK,
behind
did
us
she hear
right
that?
now. No, I don't think so.
Hi. Good. Well, I'll let you repair your relationship with your mother.
Thanks.
And carry on with your painting. And I'll see you later.
OK, thanks. Oh, God.
The artists have just over 3 hours left.
So far, I've just been painting with acrylics. I'm starting to get a likeness. I'm just kind of doing everything as fast as I possibly can because I feel slightly more in control the moment I move into oil paint.
I'm blocking in some colour now, but kind of looking at Lem and kind of trying to use both references, but then the colours are different, so it's really tricky. Just need to struggle along with it. Yeah, get their likeness.
I'm just blocking in the shapes. It's almost very low resolution at the moment. I'm feeling good. I try not to let myself get stressed out, but anything could go wrong. I hope that it will be okay.
At the National Portrait Gallery are 3 finalists, Toby, Christel and Inga. Are 1 hour into painting poet LM Sissay, who's consumed with his own creative process.
Gentle, joyous, no, accidental, another word for accidental.
Let's discuss Lem as a sitter. He's moving around, he's talking quite a lot.
Yes, like he's writing poetry in his head, and it's just phenomenal. He really is opening up his character to be read. And, you know, I'm always the one who want my sitters absolutely dead still so you can get the proportions right. In this case, Lem is giving them much more. I'm a convert.
But nonetheless, you've still got to get that ratio at the beginning.
And actually, that's where technology comes in. And I think that... But
Cameras?
all 3 of them understood that they've got to get the likeness right. But I think there is more to portraiture, and I think we're seeing it in action here today.
If I move too much or talk too much or do anything, you can tell me. I'll take direction.
It's great that your face is really animated. If you can try and just focus on looking where it was.
The same place it was?
As much as you can.
Okay.
That just makes it easier for us.
Okay, all right.
Lem,
Yes.
I hesitate to disturb you because you are being studied fastidiously by these three painters who haven't had the easiest job, I have to say. You're quite a chatter, aren't you? You're quite a fidgeter. Would that be fair? Am I being harsh?
Probably I am a fidgeter, but it's not a natural situation.
It's really not a
Stephen?
natural situation. I mean, there's three of you being created out there as we speak.
Yeah.
And you've got three very different personalities painting you here. What have you managed to glean about them?
I'd have Inga as a lion.
Okay.
No, like a jaguar.
Right.
Look at that.
Even her stance is, she's ready.
Yeah. I'd have Toby as a lemur.
Right.
He's very sort of like that. And I would have Christel as a Afghan hound.
Wow, the big hairy ones.
Yeah.
With the big ears.
The grey ones.
I presume you're saying that about her not because she's hairy with big ears, but
No. But
What are you today then? if they're those animals.
Mole.
You're a mole. Or blinking hesitantly in the light.
All right. Oh, okay.
Okay.
This is where I popped up today.
As if Lem's animated face wasn't proving difficult enough, there's another feature capturing the artist's attention.
I want to include his hands because he's quite gestural, like he uses his body a lot. So I just want to capture that really well.
The hands are beautiful. I feel like it's just part of the face in a way we talk with our hands. From the word go, my whole composition was about getting the hands.
The hands are quite expressive. You know, if they're tense, you can really feel that in a similar way you can feel an expression. And there's something about the way his fingers are interlocking. They add something else.
I've noticed all of them are really keen to get the hands.
Yeah.
And that says a lot when you think that they're really up against it. You'd think they'd play safe.
No, but they know they want to win, so they need to give us something else. They haven't done hands, they've got to give us hands.
But I guess they also know they've got the commission. So that must make them feel like they've got one in the bag, don't you think?
I would hope so. I always get really nervous today, though, because I love these three paintings, I love being part of this day, and I always know there could be a bombshell coming.
I know, so exciting.
Because we know nothing about what they've been doing.
Before today's final, our artists were given an additional challenge to see what they can create with more time. This year, they've been tasked to paint a portrait of one of three individuals who are leaders in their field and depict them within their working environment.
I'm really excited to find out who it is. Dear Christel, your commission is to paint the renowned micro-sculptor Willard, Wigan, MBE. What he does is really, really incredible. It's going to be really interesting.
Your commission is to paint the Michelin-starred chef Nieves Barragan Moacho. That's exciting.
Your commission is to paint the award-winning landscape architect Kim Wilkie. This is very exciting. It's such a surprise. It's a really good surprise.
Famous for his designs at Boughton House in Northamptonshire and the V&A Museum Garden in London, Kim Wilkie has an international reputation as one of the most gifted landscape architects of our time.
Hi.
Hello.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you so much. What an honor to meet you.
His studio in Hampshire sits within acres of farmland he designed himself.
Kim, you're a landscape architect. What is it that made you follow this course?
I love being outside, trying to work out everything from agriculture to sculpting the earth.
I would love to get a picture of you, perhaps with the mound in the background.
Okay. Come on then. Come on. Yeah.
I'm going to end up painting hippo.
Yeah.
Known for making the world's smallest sculptures in the eye of a needle, from the Last Supper to the Mad Hatter's Tea Party, Willard's microscopic work has even made it into the Queen's collection at Buckingham Palace.
Hello, Christel.
Hi.
Good evening. Welcome to my little Willard world.
As the only person able to maintain his sculptures, Willard often works from his permanent exhibition at Broadway Museum in the Cotswolds.
Here you are, Christel. This is my
Goodness,
little
I had
world.
no idea there were so many of them.
If you look at that card there,
Yes.
see where that light is?
Yep, I can see it like a speck of dust.
Now look through the microscope.
Oh my goodness. A ballet dancer, tiara, red lips, and fingernails. That is incredible.
Thank you.
After rising through the ranks at hip London tapas bar Barafina, Nieves Barragan Moacho launched her own restaurant, Sabor, to critical acclaim.
Nice to meet you. Welcome to Sabor.
Here she combines her passion for Basque country cuisine with her signature culinary expertise.
Everything is open plan because when you come in to Sabor, we want you to get like a full journey to Spain.
The first thing that come into my head looking at this is Velasquez. The paintings he does of everyday life in Spain, just preparing food, and this is immediately what I thought when I came in there.
A quick break for the staff provides an opportunity for Toby to sketch Nieves amidst the steaming pots in the heart of her kitchen.
What do you want from a portrait?
I like to see my smile because when you come into Sabor, everyone is happy, and this is what we're trying to create. The energy of me, I think, is a bigger smile.
I mean, how do you decide on your subject matter for your sculptures?
I can look at someone walking a dog and I'll go, ooh, put that in the eye of a needle.
It's just whatever,
Yeah,
whatever
two people
you...
sitting around a table having lunch, you know, I can miniaturise that, just whatever.
No, I get that,
It's pretty
because
easy.
I'm the same with my paintings.
I mean, the good thing about your work, you can actually enjoy it, whereas mine, I can't. I just enjoy it when it's finished.
Preliminary sketches are usual practice to get to know a subject's face. But understanding Kim's relationship with the outdoors is a key factor for Inga.
So much of Kim Wilke's work, it's not just about making landscapes or structural designs. It's about movement of humans and animals through these places. I think it would be so beautiful to do a sketch of Kim with one of the cows.
Do you need her a bit closer?
That would be wonderful to have her a little bit closer, but she's being very patient. Trying to get these beautiful legs in. I mean, the cows, not... Kim, if you'd like to have a look.
I'd love to. Thank you.
This would be a very much action sketch where I ended up mostly focusing on...
She's fantastic. Look at that. Gosh, I mean, given the circumstances that you're working, that's super.
OK, Willard, I think I'm done. Ready to see?
I am looking forward to seeing this. Wow. You know what? I'm very happy with that because you've made me look about 18.
Wow, it is my shape. It is, I can say this is my shape. It's beautiful, thank you so much.
The artists then went back to their studios to complete their commission paintings.
I decided on a multi-figure composition for my commission with Nieves as the focal point, including a self-portrait to illustrate the kind of parallels between mine and Nieves' story. That Nieves was in a position that I've been in, trying to work her way up to the top of her field.
I wanted to convey Willard as a larger-than-life personality. So he filled the canvas from the top to the bottom, and in front of Willard I put his tools and his microscope because he's this successful artist.
I wanted to paint Kim Wilke, including as much about his work and his life as possible. His cows, his dog, his mathematical structure. And I tried to do all of that without being overly literal.
The finished portraits will be revealed to the judges at the end of the final challenge. But before that, there's another portrait needing their attention, and the artists have only 2 hours left to complete it.
I don't know what the time is, and I'm slightly too scared to look, but I'd like to be more on track. I feel like I'm usually further along than I am today. I've moved into oil paint now, so I feel slightly more in control.
I'm at the stage where I'm starting to go in and refine the face, and then I'll think about the figure and background. I think what could go wrong is focusing too much on one area and neglecting the whole. But I would say at the moment, I'm not massively concerned.
I'm panicking a bit about the likeness. I'd like to be more confident with the positioning of the features and to now just be able to be picking out colours and tonal variation rather than still trying to find the likeness. So I think I'm a little bit behind schedule. Sadly, lots to do still.
At the National Portrait Gallery, our finalists are 2 hours into painting the esteemed poet and performer LM Sissay. Okay, halfway through the final. This is hard, this competition.
The difficulty today, I think, really is that we've got 3 artists who paint in very different styles.
And they're all very good at what they do, and it's going to be very difficult.
Okay, what do we think, first of all, of Toby's painting?
I think watching Toby work, actually, he's timing himself very well. He's stepping away, he's refreshing his eyes, and he's produced this beautiful head of Lem.
It's slowly coming through in that old mastery style that he has. I just need to see him really complete the work by the end of today because he's focused so much on the face.
Yeah, in order to fully believe it, it needs context. So it's only going to work if he's got time to fill everything else in. But I think what's interesting is if you look at the difference in light between Toby and Christel, they've got a very different light on Lem. So Toby's doing these very dark, rich colours. That's what he can see in front of him. But if you move over to the right, Christel's got the kind of light that's flatter and sort of suits her style. And she's come with this green canvas that she loves so much. It's the same colour as the gallery.
Yeah, her art lives off that sense of reduction. What she's done very well is had that plane of colour and placed the figure within it so there was just enough tension. And the colours are beautiful, the paint is being put on beautifully. I think the likeness is difficult.
Of all of them, I think Christel's struggling a little bit with the likeness.
But Lem is moving, he's full of energy. It's hard to catch.
Yeah, and he's talking to himself and he's coming up with lines, and it's quite interesting that Inga has got that sort of electricity coming off him.
Yeah, I think he's got a lot of energy. I like the colour palette. I think it's fantastic that Inga has managed to catch the sense of him sinking into his shoulders, his head has sunk into the shoulders. And, you know, you see Lem, he's sort of present, but he's not present some of the time. And I think that is what Inga's managed to capture a little bit. I think it's really interesting that all 3 of them have gone for the head and the hands. It's unusual.
I think they're competing. They're all getting along very nicely, but I think they all know this is the final, and they're thinking, what do the judges want? You better give them something extra.
It's a pretty unique experience, this is. I mean, I think I have an image of my own face, but I have no idea what the artist will see. Do you know what I mean? That these painters are finding somebody in me that I don't know. It's their interpretation. And I find that fascinating. But I'm not going to look at the pieces of art until the end. I like not knowing.
Lem may not want to see the portrait so far, but the artists themselves can't resist sizing up the competition.
So how are you finding it?
I'm all right.
Yeah. Well, you've got a really good likeness. I'm jealous.
I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm seeing too much Obama, but maybe he's got a bit of that in him.
I don't know what I see.
Yeah. I don't know.
Doesn't even look human at the moment.
Inga, have you been keeping an eye on the other portraits that are being created today?
I've just had my first proper look.
To see what you're up against, or just because you like looking at other
I think
artists?
it's that. It's very fascinating to see, oh, that's how they do it.
That's how they
you
do
know?
it. But you're in a competition. I mean, you must be competitive. Did you have a word with yourself before you came here today?
Yes. You know, as an artist, you apply for so many things. We're all familiar with the not this time, later, and I hate that. So my main aim was to not in any way get sidetracked by the kind of slightly sinking feeling of not winning. If that happens, that happens. This is not why you do it. Just want to make an awesome painting.
Well, good luck.
Yeah.
I'll let you get on with it.
Thank you.
Beyond today's time limit, the gravity of the occasion can take its toll on the artists. But they're not the only ones feeling the pressure. Now, you're Christel's husband. How do you feel about how she's working today?
Well, I'm finding it very difficult to get too close to it right now because I'm a bundle of nerves.
We all are.
We all are. In fact, we'll be hiding in the cafe.
Well, don't be too nervous. And don't drink too much coffee.
That's it, that's it.
So, Lucas, What are you doing here today?
I came here to support my mum.
How's she doing?
I think she's doing quite well.
Do you think she's going to win?
Yeah.
No, it didn't sound very convincing.
No, I think she can win. I think she's doing quite well.
Okay.
OK, Toby's mum. Was he always good at painting when he was young?
From 5, he was mega.
Now, you're the big sister.
Yes.
Are you proud of him?
I am very proud of him.
Have you ever had a go?
Right? He doesn't let me near his art things.
And what about you?
I paint my nails, and that's it.
I'm doing all right, yeah. I do feel quite calm. There's a lot of people who curse their painting and say, oh, why aren't you doing this, why aren't you doing that? And like pulling their hair out. I try not to let myself get stressed out, because what's going to happen if you get stressed out? It's just going to tumble, and it's not going to end well.
So here we are in the white heat of battle. How would you cope in this situation?
I'd be freaking out. I'm always amazed at our competitors. They've survived the heats, gone through the semi-finals. The pressure just gets more every time. I find it impossible.
What would you do? So if lots of people are staring over your shoulder, would you just get...
I think it is...
violent?
Yes, it's probably...
I'd start aggressive?
Weeping. I start weeping.
Emotional?
I get emotional. And I think I would be kind of comatose with stress. I'd be beyond any help. So I think...
Wow, we've got to make this happen. I want to see this.
You don't want to... Look, hats off, they're doing a fantastic job. All three of these guys have upped the game, given us a larger composition, got finished heads. I mean, they really have done very well. I think they all want to win.
Absolutely.
The artists have less than an hour to go.
I think I'm a little bit behind schedule, but I think it's improved. I had a bit of a realisation that the features were all too high up in the face. So I've just been trying to move things down a bit. So I don't feel like all is lost. It's just that bringing it all together in the time.
I think I was on the verge of focusing too much on one area with the face. So I'm starting to block in the wider pose. It's almost as if I'm scribbling where things should go to get a rough impression.
I've quite a lot left to do. I've got most of the face. It's not 100% there. I have just been working on the hands a little bit. They're slightly more handish, and I had visions and fantasies about referring to the figures in the painting. That's not going to happen. I'm feeling completely jittery at this point. You know, I'm actually feeling slightly shaky. Just, yeah, trying to go as fast as possible.
At the National Portrait Gallery, our three finalists are nearing the end of the competition.
You got this, all three of you. Come on. Extraordinary, brilliant people you are.
Problem areas I have left are nose and mouth, and eyes are coming together, maybe too close together, in my case. Might need to push them apart a bit. But I'm liking it, and I'm really pleased with how I've painted the hands. Like, I almost don't want to do too much more.
I'd love to be able to have more time, but I'm just trying to get it to a stage where it works as a whole, and areas that I think need to be more finished are more finished. Mainly the face and the hands and the jacket, just the whole of LM.
Artists, you have 5 minutes left.
Oh my God.
Did you hear the gasps?
I did.
I'm not feeling entirely confident, not feeling calm either. I'd love to get as finished as possible, but there's not enough time. 1 or 2 more things to do.
I had a moment where I wanted to leg it, but I got over that. It's in the hands of fate now.
Artists, your time is up. Your final challenge is over.
Put down your brushes and step away from your easels.
Lem, you survived. How was it?
It was great, yeah, I loved it. I mean, it's probably the hardest gig I've ever done, I think, to sit still.
There was a lot going on up there.
Yeah, well, it's difficult to sit in your head for such a long time.
OK, well, let's not put it off any longer. Artists, can you please turn your easels?
Wow. This is never going to happen in my life again. They're magnificent. They really are.
Let's have a closer look.
OK. Yeah.
Deceptively simple, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
You see yourself?
Oh, yeah, I do, yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, I see myself, but I enjoy you seeing me, you know, it's like...
An interpretation.
Yeah.
So when you look at this Lem, what's this man's story?
He has got a story. From this picture, I feel that he has got something to say. I love this, yeah.
So, another Lem.
Yeah, I like him, man. He's going for Prime Minister. I like how you have my eyes. They feel really alive.
Well, the time has come. I know it's a horrible thing to make you do, but you're going to have to choose one of the paintings.
I'm going to choose this one.
As well as examining the finished portraits of LM Sissay, the judges at last get to see the artist's commissions.
Oh, wow.
Wow, that's
They've
fantastic.
done very well.
Yeah. We pick a good three.
Three really good artists.
It's really strong. I thought this morning I wanted something a little bit surreal from Inga, like in her submission with the bird.
Yeah.
And then she's done this so beautifully. You see the landscape there with Kim.
Yeah.
So fantastically interesting, just the little hint of the dog. And then these cows in the background are so brilliantly rendered because she's sort of done it in a totally different artistic language.
It's like prehistoric.
Exactly.
And don't forget, his landscapes are populated with animals, so you get a bigger sense of the work that he makes.
The same happens here with Inga's portrait of Lem. He really is out there thinking about his poetry. She's finding the really important elements in the psyche of the sitter.
I don't know that the hands are as good as I would expect from her. That's the only thing.
It doesn't bother me so much because I feel there's something almost surreal about those fingers there, and it is sort of about locking him down. It's great.
Yeah.
I feel like I have done myself justice. It would be lovely to actually win as well, but if I don't, then I got into the finals and I did a good job and I'm okay with that.
There is a lot to look at in this. I think it's probably the most complex set of figures we've ever had in one of the commissions.
It's not just a portrait of her, it's a portrait of what she does. But then I'm finding him down there quite distracting. You know, the natural thing would have been to make that figure in the back right-hand side, the self-portrait.
What I think interesting is that Toby's been able to pull off a smile. Smiling portraits can go horribly wrong, and to do that with such liveliness, that's pretty impressive.
And he's done the same thing with Lem today. Like, he's caught a lovely aspect of Lem's smile.
It seems that a connection was made, which is incredibly strong. I think his sense of tone, it's just this sort of subdued browns and greys. They really sing, both very masterful paintings.
I would like to think my commission would improve my chances of winning today. I know getting to this stage in itself is an achievement, and it's not to be sniffed at. But to be able to say that I won it would be incredible.
I love the fact that Christel's managed to give what is a really, it could be a boring scene of someone in an office, a dynamism in a real sort of contemporary way.
I mean, every image we've seen of her, we've seen this fantastic kind of cool reduction. And in this painting, she's showing us that she doesn't need to rely on a enticing colour to drag us in, that actually she can do it with this pool of black.
I've always liked her work for its very clever graphic quality. But what really holds me is his gaze, a slave to his really difficult work.
I mean, it's clear that she can make something powerful when she has the time, but clearly she struggled a little bit, the lightness of Lem.
She really didn't have it this morning. She always pulls it out of the bag. I think the shorthand for his hands works very well.
There's a lovely vitality, isn't there?
Today was really hard. There was a moment halfway through where I thought I'd lost it and I wasn't going to be able to bring it back. But I think I did. And the anticipation of finding out who's won is just weighing heavy.
Now, you've got three totally different artists with totally different styles, producing totally different work. How on earth are you going to judge?
To see them actually evolve through the process and now do a commission has been a real eye-opener to see what happens now when they go out into the real world. Are they up to producing a commission for a public institution? And unfortunately, it makes our job very hard. They all three have done very well.
And, you know, and major institutions, I mean, they're looking for a portrait that says a lot more than just a head and shoulders most of the time. And each of our finalists today have given us a whole heap of story and context.
I mean, if each of them is equally worthy, how are you going to choose?
We have a very complex and unwritten algorithm, which involves, you know, that sense of confidence in the artist, but with a dash of surprise and with a kind of twinkle of hope that they'll go and do something even more in the future. And we can't reveal our complex algorithm.
But it has gone into action.
Of course it has.
Yeah.
And you had now decided?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well done. Glad I didn't have to choose.
Telling me.
Inga, Toby, Christel, thank you for being such splendid finalists. We've so enjoyed watching your work over the past few weeks.
But sadly, only one of you can claim the prize. And after much deliberation, the judges have chosen their winner. The Sky Arts Portrait Artist of the Year 2020 is Christel Blackburn.
What's going on? How has this happened? I just can't believe it. I'm in complete shock. It's just... I feel like jelly, just like wobbly and shaky and just confused.
You're such a good artist, you know. That's so good.
I think this experience has really energized me, and Christel's work is so beautiful. So I'm very happy for her.
Easily the strongest final we've ever had. That could go on a museum, that could go to a museum.
It's been a great journey, and I think Christel did excellently. I think she has a very distinct style pulled out of the bag.
Christel's work just really shone. It's sharp, it's focused, it's modern, it's got a freshness to it, and there's a real directness of contact that she has with the sitter and therefore with the viewer that I think gives her portraits an energy.
You can see steady steps. She's stuck true to her style and her view of that sort of that clean-edged pop kind of sensibility, but it's always evolving. To have both those things happening is fantastic.
I think I always finish the final, I don't know about you, feeling quite proud. Now, actually, you're thinking, wow, we're about to take Christel into the art world and see where she goes over the next few years, and I have absolute faith in her as an artist. Oh, it's great. It's such a great thing to...
Obviously, I've secretly imagined what it would feel like to be the Portrait Artist of the Year 2020, but never actually thought it would happen. I just feel really, really, really proud of myself. Now I feel like I'm going to pass out.
Next time, Christel takes on her commission to paint music legend Nile Rodgers.
OK, that's cool.
Nile Rodgers said my painting was cool.
Creating her prize portrait for the Royal Albert Hall.